Hello.
Hello. It's March 18th, 2009, and I'm making the first of reports which I'll make for the next 17 days or so in this struggle to get my day in court. I've got Winston Churchill in the background here just to kind of keep me on time. I listen to this all the time because it motivates me to keep going, to stop these greedy Wall Street bankers from winning, because I don't have any legal help, and I won't let them win. But briefly, what happened to me was I got a loan in 1998, which was, pardon me, one of the bundled and securitized loans that were just starting to take root. And during that time, I had filed for bankruptcy in my new business, residential fire sprinklers. During one of those proceedings, they had sold the house and given a deed to the O'Neills. Then in the next case, they actually had me thrown out and my bankruptcy case dismissed. And I thought, well, I'm done with the courts, judges, lawyers, all of it. And I went out and I was approved for a loan, but they couldn't close it because of the violation from Chase. It was still in the O'Neills' name. So, boom, that was it. We're on. So I've been fighting ever since. The judge at first seemed to get it, but then did a big 180, which I'm still not clear why. And I took it to the bankruptcy appellate panel. Chase moved it to the district court, where I lost, and then I went to the Ninth Circuit and lost again. I took it to the Supreme Court and lost again. In the meantime, everything that was in my house was sold unlawfully when I tried to liquidate everything. And I went back to the same judge, Judge Jury, coincidentally, and she said, well, yeah, that was a stay violation, but the law is pretty uncertain. I appealed it to the BAP, and righteously in 2006 the BAP agreed with me and ordered it back for compensatory and punitive damages and emotional distress. And the court awarded an amount which really didn't compensate me, but at least the law was obeyed. I then petitioned the Supreme Court to consider the two different opinions in the Ninth Circuit about how we're going to handle stay violations. That was denied very quickly, and within a year later I took it back to the original court. I showed Judge Jury where the bankruptcy attorneys for Chase had misled her and misled the appeals court, and asked her under what's called Rule 60 to set that aside and hold a hearing for damages, which the law provides. She had her assistant say, no, sorry, way too late. So I appealed that to the BAP again, and of course Chase removed it to the district court. We did the briefing thing, and then in August, right before I left for Hurricane Hannah, and then Ike and Gustav, because I have a part-time job with FEMA, the court ruled against me and said, yeah, she was right, you're done. I appealed that when I was back in New Orleans to the court, and when I was in Mississippi, the nice people there in Greenville looked it up and said, yeah, it got filed. So I was happy about that. When I got home, I realized I hadn't sent in the motion to proceed without fees, and I did so. Then, as I was waiting, I realized the opening brief wasn't until March, and my brother had just died right before I left, and I thought, I want to get this out. So, studying the law, I read about a writ of mandamus, which essentially asks a higher court to order a lower court to obey the law. So I worked on that quite a bit from December until I finally got it off in February, and I got something from the court that said, yeah, it's been docketed, 09-705-58. Okay, well, now I know they're very discretionary about writs of mandamus, so I better go to work on my opening brief, which is due on the 10th. I did so, and got it down to 7 pages, which is remarkable, because earlier attempts were much longer. I sent that in, and then on Friday the 13th, last Friday, I got word that my motion to proceed in pauperis without fees was denied, that the court would not accept any motions for reconsideration or change of circumstance or anything like that, that you come up with $455 or we're going to dismiss it for lack of prosecution. It obviously made me think, how can you decide it's frivolous, because they said it appears this case is frivolous, if you haven't read it, because I had just mailed 2 days earlier the opening brief. So that's where we're at, and that's I'm into it 4 days now, and I'm going to make a video like this every night, drunk or sober, and try to just put word out what's happened to me. And that's about it. All of my filings are at www.firesprinklers.us. I was a fire sprinkler contractor when all this happened, and I hope that you'll read it, and I hope I can get some media attention on this and receive my day in court. Thank you for watching. My name's Gary Ozenne.